Welcome everyone to the Collegiate Cephalopod Association. I am Lily Gravybread and I'm joined by SBF Dark here. We are going to be seeing some uh, a Div 7 set of games between Painting Hazard and Farmingdale Rams. These are teams that I believe this is the Div 7 set, and I believe these universities that they are representing, Kutztown University and Farmingdale State University, I believe they may be fairly close to one another, so it'd be interesting to see if there are any rivalries happening between these two teams. How are you, Doug? What kind of things are you excited about for this set? What are you expecting to see as we go into the first game?
I am doing great myself. Thank you for asking. As for what we might see, and it's hard to say what we might see. For the past few games I've seen so far, people have been bringing out different sets, different weapons. Right now, what a variety of weapons we see already with an E-Leader and a Luna Blaster and Fort on the other side. It's going to be a very exciting match, and I can't wait to see. And as we get ready for this game right now, we're about to kick things off.
Yeah, I'm liking seeing Junior on each side here. As a junior player myself, or sometime junior player, I think they can be pretty good, especially on Flounder Heights, where you can really push with those bombs and also like help paint off, especially when you're gonna have to like get as much control of the map as possible in terms of getting enough paint in to really be able to move around as quickly as you possibly can. It looks like we see two go down on Painting Hazard so far, and they're painting up pretty well, so they have quite a bit of coverage here. Then you have to back up a little bit as another one of the plays goes down, and we see a bubble come in from the other team to kind of stop any push, to protect that round up on their side as we see the charger keeping it up.
And right now, the Hazards, they had advantage there for a bit. They could have easily taken at least a few points off, but right now, the Rams seem to be holding their ground as they're pushing him down. Right now, Hazards 2 down they have the advantage, they have the clam economy to actually get quite a bit of clams in there as they're slowly inching forward. They need to make a push fast before the Hazards do exactly what I figured they would do and just stop them right in their tracks. Right now, it seems to return back to neutral, potentially.
Yeah, it does look like we are going into a neutral game. However, two going down, deaths are kind of getting a little bit staggered on one side here, and they may need to be able to defend as much as they can, get their clams going to be able to get their first push in the game. We're getting close to 2 minutes through the game at the moment, and we haven't seen any power clams scored yet. Both teams are making their attempts, getting picks where they can, and being able to slowly paint up and inch their way forwards towards the baskets in order to get their first power clam in. Looks like hopefully we might be able to see some of those power clams go in soon. We do see, however, a power clam on one side, the other side getting their clams in order to make their first push.
And right now, it seems
but
to be
their player goes down.
Right now, things seem to be pretty even right now. Each trade has been 1 for 1. No one's been able to really get a real good foothold. As soon as one team gets to get a push, the other responds. And right now, it seems to be, I believe the Hazards might have the advantage right now, but the Rams are still holding their ground. It's been neck and neck so far as we're heading into 2 minutes into this game.
Yeah, it is neck and neck. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm looking forward to see which team manages to actually push up ahead, but it seems like they're playing it as safe as they possibly can. They don't want either teams really don't want any of their players to go down for as long as possible. We can see the charger there trying to control top mid, but ends up going down to that was a really fantastic pick. Although it looks like 2 go down, 3 go down. This could be the opportunity that they need to push up ahead. They're inching closer to that clams basket. If they can move past the bubble there, they might be able to get it in. They might have to either shred that bubble, wait for it to go down, but they're gonna hold onto that power clam and pop the tab just to give them an opening. This is a zip caster as well, trying to help them create that strong front line, but as 2 players on the other team go down and manage to break the barrier, and score some more clams as well, pushing down into the low 50s, into the 40s maybe. But it looks like as players go down, they might just have to back up a little bit and allow themselves to regroup.
And right now, as 1 minute is remaining on this match, both teams are reset. And right now, one team has a huge advantage, 50 points, 25 in their what's it called? Just in the reserve points right now. And each team, they're struggling to try and take trades right now. One's 2 down, but they're going in for a sneak. Is this worth it though? They don't have the backup to get any more points. As right now the yellow team, they're just have such a strong hold. That Russian was, I don't think it was worth it for that play right now. As we hit 30 seconds, they have to scramble to try and get another power climb in to potentially take this lead in the last minute in overtime.
Yeah, we see a fight. I mean, actually, 2 people group up to stop that power clam from having any effect at all. It looks like they're just trying to hold their power clams as long as they can, but unfortunately, they're going down. It does look like if they're able to hold this lead, this might be game for them as we count down to 6, 5, 4. If we manage to actually hold this lead, it looks like it's going to be game, but we don't go into overtime there, and that is going to be game.
And as this game wraps up to a finish, I like what I'm seeing so far. Both teams, they're playing really passively. They're not wanting to give up their own teammates to try and potentially force a push. They want to make sure they're playing safe, they're playing smart. But the issue with that though is that, as you see throughout most of that game, no one's been able to get major headway. It's good to play safe, but they need to be making more risk. They need to be willing to just push it forward more than they probably should to try and get those picks, because otherwise you're just gonna have a stalemate like what had just happened throughout what I believe is just most of that game.
Yeah, most of the game we did see like a lot of even playing. The whole map was pretty much like not really in anyone's favor for a lot of that game. However, being able to actually find just the right opportunity, play kind of patiently and find exactly the right opportunity to get that push in, I think was what Farmingdale Rams really needed. It was kind of unfortunate that Painting Hazard, although they played so well and managed to actually find an opportunity for themselves, it may have happened just a little bit too late in the game, and Farmingdale Rams were able to very successfully defend their push in.
And right now, as we're heading into game number 2, we're going into Splat Zones on Makeamar. I love this map, and I especially love zones of this map. I think those 2 juniors, if they're smart, they at least stay on the juniors. I would probably try and switch to the C junior, since I think that weapon's better. That kit variation at least is better on this map mode specifically, but who knows what's going to come out this time around.
Yeah, both junior kits I think are very strong on Splat Zones, and Macklemore, what I hope to see is either one of the teams being able to control the 2 stacks which are looking over the zone in middle. If you can control those 2 stacks, you can hold that zone for a long time.
And right
Looks
now,
like as we're going in, we do see C Junior come in actually, but we don't see a Junior on the other team. They're going to be playing with a double tri-strike, however, which is always a strong choice on Splat Zones.
And as this game kicks off right now, there's already 1 pick. The splash goes down already, and right now it looks like the team is going to be able to get, it's trade for trade. 2 go down, but 2, another pick goes out. This might be a close back and forth game right now, as 3 is down for one side of the team, and they're managed to flip it in their favor. The points are already starting to tick down.
Yeah, and with those tri-strikes coming out to try and hold them back and hold this lead for longer, it looks like they have taken lead actually. I said that a little bit prematurely there, but 1 down each on both sides, 2 down actually, 3 down. They can hold this for even longer. We can see them pushing up, painting up, giving them as much space to move around as they possibly can. Hopefully to set up front line, but as they lose control, they know that the play here is to stay alive, to be safe, and to make sure that they can control their stacks to stop any of the other teams from pushing up.
Right now, Seems Hazards, they have the advantage right now with 1 down on the other team. But another one goes down. It's been trade for trade right now. Hazards, they need as good as they're good at holding right now, they need to make sure to get those points. Otherwise, they're just going to be stuck at that 50 bar as the stone flips. There's 3 down for the Rams, as Hazard seems to be controlling this game very well right now.
Yeah, I'm really loving what I'm seeing. Hazard knows when to push up and when to make sure that they're staying safe as well. They have a great read on Farmingdale Rams at the moment. Even when two of them go down, that we're gonna see them, I think, try and hold, retake that in some way as safe as possible. But knowing that they need to control that stack, unfortunately, we do see the junior go down, but they're gonna make another attempt here to try and push it back in. We do see the counter tick down. I wonder how long that will last for. Let's wait to see some picks coming out as well. See how well they can defend and actually push back in to retake the zone for themselves. They do have some special advantages here, and we do see those price tags come out. This could be their opportunity to regain control of that.
And right now, each team, they're struggling to go down, but the hazards, they keep going down. That's a full wipeout in favor for the Rams right now. This is their chance to really take lead, to take positions up in front, make sure they don't let anyone slip by. As right now, lead goes back in their favor. Specials are popping out, but a flank goes down, takes out that crab, and just like that, that lead was lost.
My goodness, it looks like also with the wipeout, this could be the opportunity for them to really push up. I love seeing how these zones are actually flipping over. I think that's always exciting in splat zones. We don't necessarily want to see just one team hold it and lock out the other team all the way through, and it looks like that's what's happening here, in terms of making sure they're safe, making sure they've got their turf painted, making sure that there's nothing in danger of taking over the zone right now. We can see how both stacks have got their players kind of defending them to help them to hold control of that zone, looking out for anyone who might be threatening their positions on those stacks right now. We do see a crab come out to try and stop them from being able to take the zone, and it looks like they managed to get the lead here, but as they start going down, they lose control.
And right now, we have 1:30 remaining. It could go either way, as these teams are still struggling to at least take mid right now, to take the zone. But right now, it seems the Rams are going to be able to take the lead, at least take flip right now, as the hazards, they're starting to trickle in. They're starting to play dangerously. They need to regroup right now, as their points are taken away. They don't have a lot of time right now. They need to recuperate, and just build special in order to get a really solid push to flush out the hazard, flush out the Rams.
Yeah, things are looking really good for the Rams right now. We saw earlier a pick on the heavy, which led to, I think, could have been pretty much a soft wipe there. They're holding this as much as they can. You can see that they're contesting the zone. They're making sure that both stacks are painted up. They're making sure that they're always on the lookout for anyone who may be able to try and outflank or take the zone away from them, and also keeping painting hazard down as much as they can. We saw that their deaths were kind of staggering just a little bit. They never had their full team up on the stage, up really applying the pressure, but we do see them come out with the zip pulser as well, and the price strikes. Maybe this is their chance to neutralize zone and get it back in their favor, but unfortunately they start going down again, and the timer kicks down in favor of the Rams as they get lead.
Right now, there's only 10 seconds remaining, but it looks like this might just be it for the hazards, as Rams, they managed to take that in time and just hold that out until the very end.
What a fantastic game. I had no idea who was going to win that, actually. We saw some really strong plays from both teams, knowing where they really had to control and where they had to, especially towards the end, where they had to look out for the danger coming from. Also love seeing crabs getting shredded here and there as well. That's always fun to see, in my opinion.
Also, I seem to realize that we might have got the two teams right now. The hazard was the one that actually took that out, while the Rams managed to lose that at the very end. That is...
I was just going with the flow there, but you're absolutely right. That was the hazards that took that game, our mistake. And we are waiting at the moment for the next game to come out. Now, 1-1 on both teams. This is looking like it could turn out to be a pretty even set. Hopefully, I'm curious to see who will be taking this one. We are going to tower control on Museum. What kind of things do you like to see here? What kind of things do you expect to see here, by the way, Dark?
Judging by it's still hard to say really what exactly each of these teams, what the weapon pool is like. I think one team's been switching up pretty much at least half their team's been switching up just different weapons each time around. So who knows what's gonna come out this time around? But I will like to also mention that tonight this set's gonna be a best of 9. So even though it's 1-1 right now, it's gonna be if it's going like this, it's gonna be a very long and a very eventful night.
I'm very excited. On Tower Control Museum, we did see actually in the Clan Blitz games, we did see a junior on each side. If they decide to bring out the junior again, that can help them at least keep the tower protected for a bit, especially if they make sure that they can like chain that with some other specials like the crab, keeping the crab protected, allowing these specials to help the tower just roll forward at a steady and safe pace. But we are going to see not a junior in sight, it looks like, but we do see a roller, which will give them a bubble.
Very different weapon pools already from both teams right now. As the hazards, I believe, have the stringer and the foil and the squeezer for their side, while the Rams have a roller and the goalies and a pro rapid, I believe, if I'm seeing that correctly. And right now, it seems one's already down, but another goes down from each team. It is trade for trade right now as they're trying to reclaim enough terrain for this tower.
Yeah, and we can see as those trades come in, at least we have a crab on one side which could potentially pop and create some space for them. It looks like they have managed to get the checkpoint one, the crab and the bubble. This could be their opportunity to set those up and roll forwards with it. But it looks like, unfortunately, the roller goes down. It's only the Julies now. That was a fantastic defense as well to stop that tower pushing forwards as it goes back to a neutral position, and it seems like even going in the other direction right now, we may see them take lead, which they do.
And right now, as they're trying to push up to get past this first checkpoint, both teams have 2 down on each side. It's still neck and neck right now. It could go either way, but it seems to be that the hazard, I believe, is going to start rolling the tower back in their other direction, in their direction as tri-strikes go out. But once again, it's trade for trade. Each of these teams are managed to get a pick right back afterward, and it's been practically even almost the entire time. 2 go down.
Two go down, and this is going to be their opportunity to roll back ahead in the other direction. It's very much been a game of tug of war between both teams. However, these tri-strikes getting picks and displacing their opponent from being able to push back in and stop that push could help them get those numbers ticked down. But once again, that tug of war, it looks like, they managed to survive actually. Are they able to get that number down past 72? That 2-point difference, and already 2 minutes into the game, this is going to be really tight for them. But as we see, as they're trying to get some picks, trying to get some control over their flat and around their spinner to stop any successful defenses from coming in, it looks like this may be a fantastic push past the second checkpoint as they roll further and further into their opponent's territory.
And if I remember correctly, this is actually the Rams are starting to push forward, and they're already getting down to 13, and it's starting to snowball. The Hazards don't have much time left as the tower hits the exit, and just like that, in one fell swoop, the Rams take game number 3.
What an incredible game, number 3 that was. It was great to see how they were able to get those specials pop one after another to really set up and roll forwards with that tower. They knew that like early in the game, as we were seeing trades, we were seeing a fairly even neutral state for a lot of that. They knew that like they had to keep those other players down in order to be able to do anything with the tower at all.
And as we're getting ready for game number 4 today, I just want to say that it's been a very fun night. So watching these teams so far, it's been very neck and neck for each side. It's just been trade for trade, blow for blow. But the hazards have been, I've been noticing a bit from both sides. It's just the fact that there's a few openings that they could actually be taking advantage of that they're not, and it's just the question of whether they just want to make sure they're playing safe like they have been, both teams have been, or who knows what's actually going on in the comms.
Yeah, playing safe can always be a strategy which can work out if you set up like a really good defensive position and allow the other team to kind of walk into danger that they might not see is there. But if you're going to be allowing those openings to happen, that can be putting yourself in danger as well. Especially in maps that can begin to snowball. You really want to make sure that you have some really good positions set up so you can defend as effectively as possible, depending on what you see the other team doing.
And right now we're getting ready for game number 4. We're gonna be going on to Rainmaker on Scorch Gorge, and I once again each time we kind of start these games, the team's been surprising me about what they bring out. It's been almost a completely different weapon called each and every time, so I'm really excited to see what's gonna be brought out this time around.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. I love seeing such a variety of weapon pools, especially across all these different games. I'm seeing a Stamper come in, and also a C Junior as well on the other side. These are weapons that I find are really fun to play, and also really great poking weapons, especially with their sub weapons, allowing for some great movement and also like holding back, getting some chip damage on their other teams. We see the Stamper go down right at the start of the game, and we see them trying to hold a defensive position as much as they can, but unfortunately they're going down, actually two going down on each side. And that was a very small push, only 1 point, only 1 point as they get the pop and try and push in the other direction here.
It's been a very those first 30 seconds was very neck and neck, but already the Rams are trying to push up. They're already at the checkpoint, but the hazards just stopped them right in their tracks. It's two go down from the Rams, and it's almost back to neutral. But there's that brush sharking right there. It could potentially stop this counter push right now in its tracks, or maybe even sneak it by if they could just get past all these pairs that's stacking right here.
Yeah, they really need to be able to focus on controlling mid if they want to be able to hold this and get that first checkpoint. I think it looks like, however, they do go down right after they pushed once again right next to that checkpoint, but they go for it again and they get that checkpoint and make sure that they're holding back the team with the tri-strikes to hopefully try and push up ahead. But they're gonna be met with a lot of damage. Unfortunately for them, however, they don't see that this Rainmaker carrier has already pushed all the way up, or they did see it, but perhaps they were just a little bit too slow to respond there as they take the win, the final checkpoint, going from the second to the first to the final checkpoint, in the blink of an eye.
And just like their team name, the Rams just managed to just ram all the way down to that final checkpoint and just easily cleaning up that game 3. Right now it is 1-3 in favor of the Rams, and right now it's the momentum's in their favor. They have the mental to keep this going in their favor.
Yeah, I feel like they've kind of figured out by this point, at the very least, that making sure that they find exactly the right opportunity, that's what's really right opportunity, and then just like ramming ahead, pushing it. They're like a battering ram, really. Once they have the opportunity, they use their specials, they create their opening, they throw those punches, and they go ahead at full force, at full speed, in order to rack those points down, in order to get those knockout wins.
Trading Hands is on the back foot right now, but let's see if they can try and at least take it another game back as we head into Clan Blitz on Inkbot Art Academy. And like, once again, who knows what's going to be brought out this time? We saw a Stamper, we saw a Stringer, that Rapid Pro still up to play. Will they each team bring out a Juniors again? We're about to find out here in just a moment as we head into game number 5.
Game number 5, Clan Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy. This has a pretty short objective line, but also this is a very wide map in terms of how much turf you really want to be able to control and how many options to push in there are. We are seeing the junior come back on both sides now, actually, which I think is a pretty good call to help make some of your pushes as safe as you possibly can.
One thing I will say for certain right now, the Rams, they have a major range advantage with that Hydra coming out on their side, and already the hazards, they have the clan economy to actually get a few points right now, but they're playing safe, they're playing smart, they're wanting to make sure they have enough people to get the push, especially since they're at a range disadvantage of that Hydra. They had to play really, really smart right now to at least get a proper push in if they don't ignore that, if they ignore that Hydra.
Absolutely, and seeing them play safe, I think at this point it has been a pretty good move for them, because uh, if they had rushed forward with the power climb and the climbs that they had, that would have been running right into danger. It looks like that Booyah Bomb holding them back just a little bit. They know that they need to stay alive in order to make this push. They need to save their specials in order to make the opportunity work out for them. They don't want to be taken down while holding the power climb. It looks like, however, there was an opportunity there. There was an opportunity there for the other team to actually get that power climb, which they do at the moment.
Yeah, Hydra's really putting in the work right now, keeping the Rams back, or keeping the Hazards, I'm sorry, keeping Hazards back and just in place right now. As 3 go down, the Hydra is really stating its position, really stating it as just a true powerhouse of a weapon, just clearing out these potential pushes right now and just stopping them before they can even get any momentum going.
Absolutely, and this is the kind of defensive play I love to see, and I think they were kind of almost deceived with how that push could have gone for them. It looked like on their side it could have been like, oh, we have mid painted up, we can push in with our power climb, but that Hydra waiting for them and taking them out like that and having those 3 players go down allowed them to really take back turf control of mid and allow them to push up, hopefully to hold them back. As we can see on the other side, there are 3 specials ready, 4 ready at the moment, and 1 going down. Are they able to hold this mid? Are they able to find an opportunity to push in here?
In order to get at least a crack in that barrier, in that bastion that the Rams have set up right now, they need to be using those specials smartly and very much to their advantage. But 1 goes down from the Hazards, as right now it's been a pretty dominant hold for the Rams. No one from the Hazard side can be able to at least push anywhere near because of that Hydra. It's just exerting so much pressure that they really just can't really even get out of their own platform right now.
Yeah, it's certainly possible that once they take down a couple of players, like they do just there, like 3 go down actually, this could be a place where they can actually move up ahead. They had the clams, they just needed the space to get in. It looks like that brush manages to go in with 1 more push. If they're able to hold this open, which I don't think they are, it looks like those power clams might only be chipping down small pushes at a time. If they manage to keep this up, this could be a long game, but a pretty low-scoring game. These aren't necessarily pushes that are safe to hold a lead, as things can flip over in the blink of an eye in Clam Blitz. If they manage to get their clam economy, if they manage to get any jumps in as well, and if they manage to bring the score down with the amount of clams that the other team may have to flip the numbers back in their favor. We do see climb strikes come out. It looks like they're trying to create an opportunity for themselves, but unfortunately, all those players there on the lookout, knowing exactly where they were coming from in order to stop any push up to their basket.
And right now, it seems that the game plan for the Rams is just hold down the fort, hold down their positions, make sure no one can get closer to score, while the other players can just play around Hazards, play around their flanks, and just sneak behind them and get just 1 power climb in before anything else can happen. And slowly but surely, it's been working in their favor. Right now, we're down to 1 minute remaining. There's 2 down for the Hazards, and that's a wipeout. This is very much dangerous territory for the Hazards right now. As with the Hydra, if it gets set up in position right here, it can just knock them out. But no, 2 goes down for the Rams. And right now, this is Hazard's chance to really get some points on there as we approach 30 seconds.
Yeah, and we saw that massive push all the way down, which actually, as they went down, allowed a bubble to be set up, but unfortunately nothing could really have been done with that bubble there. They do have perhaps an opportunity to push in if they manage to hold them back as they throw another climb in. We see in the last 10 seconds another power climb go in, but the score is 80-21. If they're able to actually get anyone in, maybe they could get some more points down in their favor, but unfortunately, they haven't been able to do that. That basket was really well defended, and that lead was very well secured by the end.
A very dominant showing from the Rams, with that Hydra just being able to stop anyone before they can get anywhere near the basket to at least score a power clam or even two, maybe. It was such a dominant lead right there, just holding that fort down, making sure no one enters. And right now, the Rams, they're at game point. Painting Hazard, they've been struggling to keep up these past 2-3 games right now. If they gotta make if they have something that can work in their favor, they need to pull it out now before they just potentially get knocked out for the rest of this tournament, because this is it for them. This is semifinals. If they lose here, that's it. They don't have a second chance to come fall back on.
Yeah, and we do see the next map mode being set up, and it is Splat Zones, which is the mode that Painting Hazard did manage to win on earlier in the set. So if they're able to play this out like they did in that game, maybe even stronger this time, now that they have so many games to read what Farmingdale Rams have been able to do, this could be an opportunity to win another game on them, and hopefully make a comeback even later on in the set. So let's see how this plays out. I'm very curious to see what happens here.
And I'm gonna be honest, if I were the Rams, given this map and stage, I would keep the Hydra. It showed that it's been proved very dominant against the other team last game, and so why not keep it around at least for this game? But it looks like they choose to switch it up for a heavy splatling at least right now. But it's still in their favor, as the range advantage is still in their favor, albeit just a little less than how it was last game.
Yeah, and I think Heavy is also a really good choice here. Having the wave breaker can help hold out the other team, and at least to make them little bit more visible to get picks. Looks like actually the Heavy's the only one alive now. They have like taken lead with just that to be alive, but they're not going to be able to hold that for very long.
Right now, they're really showing the best of their comp. This map may be small and might have your favorite backlines more, but there's angles that these short range, what's it called, weapons can take advantage of. And right now, it's been working in their favor. They're just going in and getting these sort of picks behind on these pseudo flanks right now for the Hazards, and the Rams are trying to make something work. But it's dangerous territory right now. At 50 points already remaining for the Hazards, this could be a lockout if they can push it up and keep this advantage in their favor.
Yeah, we do see, however, the Tri-Strikes coming. If the Tri-Strikes were able to successfully push them out, this could be an opportunity for them to take zone, which it seems like they do right here. And with the numbers advantages as well, we can see how they're going to push up ahead, try and lock them out into their into their ramp if they can, but we do see more picks actually go down. The numbers ticking down. This is looking pretty good. It's getting a little. The scores are getting a little bit more even. The zone's neutralized, but we do see the zone flip over, especially with that crab coming out, really holding back anyone in combination with the wave breaker. I thought that was a great combination of specials right there.
Right now, Hazards, they have the advantage right now. They have the lead, the momentum swinging in their favor right now. They have to push up that ramp and keep the aggressive up, or else that heavy spatting is going to start setting up and start pressuring them again from safety from that ramp. But 3 goes down for the Hazard, almost breaking away those penalty points before the Rams are able to, flip it in their favor. And once again, it is very dangerous territory for the other team, as this map is very well known to just get one flip knockout at any moment.
Yeah, but one flip knockouts aren't necessarily what we're seeing here, which I think is pretty good. They're being able to set up defenses and retaking the zone where they can in ways that have been working out really well for both teams, actually. There's a little bit of danger happening on the zone there as they do get a pick, but they're going to be holding onto that zone. They don't want anyone to be taking that. They especially don't want anyone to be coming in and that crab coming out to try and hold back anyone from pushing in. However, it is met with the Tri-Strikes, but you know what? Those Tri-Strikes haven't been able to pink zone enough to retake it, as the numbers keep ticking down, as the players keep going down on the other team as well. Let's see how long they can hold this for.
It's very much approaching knockout territory for the Hazards right now. 10 points remaining for them, and the Rams, they're stuck in their base, and they can't do anything. With just one final attempt from the Octobrush, they're unable to try and at least contest the point as the game goes to Painting Hazard.
That was, I think, a fantastic play, knowing exactly when they have to hold back Farmingdale Rams in order to hold that zone as well. Farmingdale Rams trying to push in ahead quite a number of times, throwing those punches in and trying to go for it. However, Painting Hazard, once again, another Splat Zones win for them. They've been doing really well on Splat Zones this set, which I think has been fantastic to see.
It is very, very good for them to see. They're not out of the game just yet. 2-4 in favor for the Rams. We're heading into game number 7, I believe, on Tower Control and Hagglefish Market. It is this Painting Hazards on their last legs right now. If one mess up could potentially into a very hazardous snowball for the Rams, which could get them the knockout. And they need to be making sure they're playing carefully, playing smartly, using the specials to their advantage to at least try and stay in this game at least for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see. I suspect Farmingdale Rams will be. I suspect there'll be some fairly safe plays early on before we might see perhaps a massive push ahead from either team. From either team, really, to once they get that opening for them to really get those numbers down in their favor. It looks like we are seeing a crab on both sides. We see the Julies come out, which it could be a pretty fast comp. They're somewhat backless comps, both of them, but they do have, there is a tri-stringer, which can be pretty much the range they might need. Wow, it looks like we get an early wipe here, which is going to give an opportunity to really hold a front line here and help lock the other team in spawn at this moment.
Right now, Hazard, they need to make sure they're really careful about their pushes. Right now, they're trickling in one by one. They're getting pick after pick as the Rams, they're just doing what they do best and just ramming the point ahead and just charging forward without any hesitation whatsoever. It's already at second checkpoint, 37 points remaining. We're not even a minute in, but right now, Hazard's finally managed to get 2 picks off. But is that enough to stop the push? It looks like it is.
It really does look like it is. Now they're going to be, I think, slowly pushing up and creating space for themselves to retake mid, to get some more zone control on this map in order to find a way forward for them. We do see a crab come out, which I think is good, but if they're not careful, that flank, that flank, it looks like they noticed it and got them out there. Maybe that zip caster is going to be pressuring. It looks like the crab comes out. Let's see what they can do with it. Hopefully they can hold back the other team just enough to be able to push that power forwards.
It's been trade for trade so far. It's relatively even right now. But the Rams, they're not just going to give up yet. They're gonna stand their ground and try and at least stop the push before they make the second checkpoint. But right now, the Hazards, they're getting these 2 picks. The Rams are fighting back, trying to stop this push, and they do stop this push, but they don't get the kill that they need. There's still 2 right here next to the tower, but 1 goes down. It's been blow for blow right now as there's these constant trades. It could still go either way at this point right now.
It really could go either way. What both teams need at this point, I think, is to be able to get the exact numbers advantage, the exact special, chain of special to be able to push ahead as much as they can. It looks like, however, as a number of players go down on the other side, and now Stringer trying to hold back and creep up just a little bit just so they can get on tower here. There is a bit of pain, and we see the crab go down actually, so that crab is not going to be protecting that Stringer very much at all. They're getting pressured on the tower. Can they hold them back? It looks like they may have to do their best to stay alive. However, they stay alive to get enough to get that whale out. Hopefully this can be an opportunity for the whale, the zip counter, and the other players to get some picks, to hold forward and to make sure that this tower is safe for them. Actually pretty amazing how they've been able to get those specials out together in order to push the tower up that far. It looked like those were some pretty risky plays.
It looks like the Hazards were able to stop the Rams' push just before they can get any further right now. Sitting at 30 points, it's a very good lead for them so far right now with only 2 minutes remaining. It still might just not be enough as the Hazards, they only have 40, they're currently at 48 points. That's something that they can easily stop. And right now, 1 goes down for the Hazards, 2 goes down for the Hazards as the Rams are starting to fight back. They're starting to show their hold. They're starting to show they're just bashing of the fence that they struggle to break through on Inkplot.
Yeah, it looks like if they're able to, I'm hoping to see that if this rush can get supported, they could perhaps be pushing this show back even further. But as the crab comes out, it looks like they also go down right there to a platform actually. as the tower is being taken once again, stopping any further pushes. A great kick on the crowd. Again, this may be the opportunity. Oh, I don't think they saw that brush riding right behind there, actually. But this brush, getting so many kicks like that, this looks like it's going to be a great chance for them to get on that tower again and to hold that lead that they already have. It's not the biggest lead, but it's a lead nonetheless.
It looks like the Rams, they got a little bit too overexcited for that push, not exactly getting far enough. And right now we're at 40 seconds remaining. The Hazards, they're trying desperately to get this crab off the tower. But right now their points keep ticking down and down. But they managed to get 3. There's 30 seconds remaining. This could very well be their last push that they can potentially make in this game. And try and save this game, the set from them, just to keep them from getting knocked out.
Yeah, what they really need is to get these specials out, to set something up and roll ahead with them. Unfortunately, you see the Luna go down there. They have a crab out somewhere, and they have the squeezer ready to pop their try and shoot at any point to at least try and get some hits, or to hold them back as much as they possibly can.
And right now, the time's ticking down as the Rams, they managed to stop that push at just right in the nick of time and knocking the Hazards out of these playoffs, making the Rams the winner of today's semifinals games.
Congratulations to both teams who put up some really fantastic fights. We saw a lot of very even games there. Even if we did see a few KOs, there were KOs that kind of happened pretty much once one team were really able to solidify a push that could get that. But also, so many of those games, even the ones that did have knockout wins, had set up some incredibly good defenses as well to stop that knockout from happening too early.
And right now, I just got word. So, to those of you who don't know, the other Div 7 semifinals match was actually happening at another channel at the same exact time. And I just got word that right now they just won a 5-0 in favor of Reef Unleashed. So, right now, finals is looking to be Farmingdale versus Reef Unleashed for the Div 7 finals.
Yep, and it looks like this set, Farmingdale Rams have been able to take up from Painting Hazard. What does this mean for them in these semifinals?
For the semifinals, well, Painting Hazard's knocked out. That's it. They're done.
Yep.
They lost their chance. Farmingdale Rams, like I just said, they're moving on to finals to fight against Reef Unleashed. But as right now, we're getting this little special CCA, what's the word? I forgot. Tradition, that's the word. Thank you very much, voice in my head. A CCA tradition, as they're gonna just play out the rest of the games just for fun, just for bragging rights. Who knows? Maybe Painting Hazard can at least bring the score back a little bit closer in their favor as we're heading into this next thing.
This next game being Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway. This is a great Rainmaker map. I really enjoy playing Rainmaker here. It looks like we actually see some really good positions trying to defend any pushes coming out. We see the Hydra coming out, trying to open up some space for them on the left side. But unfortunately, if they're able to clear anyone out on the left side, they may not be able to push up too far. That 3 of them is really kind of pressure the opening that they might be able to take here. But it looks like they do find an opportunity to go forward to that checkpoint if they're able to survive the slushing machine, which they don't.
Right now, it seems to be that the Rams have their bastion of absolute defense with that Hydra's coming out, but as they go down, this gives Hazards the opening they need to at least get a few points on the board, as right now they're trying to push in forward, trying to get these points, trying to clear the area for the Rainmaker, as they not only take the lead, but potentially, yes they do, they take the checkpoint right now, but as they do that, 2 go down from the Hazards, 3 go down for the Hazards, 2 down for the Rams, but this is the Rams' chance to at least strike back and get a few extra points, or at least check, maybe even potentially break first checkpoint.
It is, and that checkpoint on the right side is a risky one to get because you are surrounded by high ground from your enemy team. So being able to get that one, you really need to have a clear opening to get it. It looks like, however, with that wipeout, they may be able to push up ahead and to go left, knowing that that's a dangerous push going up on that uninkable ramp. It looks like holding them back on the right side and pushing left may be the play here. However, if they're able to stop that push with a dual bomb, we could see that Rainmaker going nowhere.
Hydra just barely managed to stop the Rainmaker in time before they got even further right now. Hazard's in the lead right now with 42 points. And the Rams, they're trying to fight back, but they can't fight back properly. They're starting to stagger. They're starting to just get punished for these pushes. But as the Rainmaker resets, things are starting to look back neutral as the Rams are just barely managed to salvage this.
Yeah, this looks like if they're able to get to hold back the other team from after getting that pop, maybe they'd be able to find another opening there, but it looks like with enough players going down, this could be the chance for them to push ahead. It looks like they're getting pressured from all sides actually, so trying to look around for just the right opening, just the right amount of cover to be able to be safe with the Rainmaker here. Looks like they're getting cornered, but they're surviving with the help from that machine. If they're able to get that Hydra out, it could be an avenue for them to push up ahead, but that Hydra is coming out with a Booyah Bomb instead and stopping the Rainmaker once again.
And now it seems to be the Hazards. They're just trying to keep the pressure up, trying to keep this momentum in their favor as they have the lead. They can afford to play this aggressive right now to keep at least the Rainmaker in the Rams' spawn location. But right now, it seems the Rams are starting to build up the momentum, build up the advantage they need to start getting this push, or at least get the first checkpoint. But no, the Rams go down as 3 go down for the Rams. The Hazards, they're starting to just really clutch up right now.
Yeah, when it looks like if they're able to actually take this across and get an even stronger lead, unfortunately they go down once again. That area around the corner right there has been a pretty dangerous spot for the Rainmaker this entire game. It's been so well defended. Every time there has ever been an attempt to make a push, they're gonna have to really find exactly the right opening. That Hydra is closely guarding that area, and it looks like with a Booyah Bomb coming out, so it looks like they haven't actually been able to take it once again.
And right now we're hitting 1 minute remaining. The Hazards, they've just been keeping this pressure up this entire time. The Rams, they haven't been able to get at least break fresh checkpoint, but 3 go down for the Hazards. This could be it for the Rams as we hitting 45 seconds. They're trying to push up forward, trying to create space, but no. This Forge gets this Splash Shot Pro gets 3, I believe. As right now the Rainmaker's in neutral. Right now, 30 seconds remaining. It is a very close game right now.
It is a very close game. It looks like as they pick up the Rainmaker, the other team are gonna have to get into a strong defense to be able to stop any more pushes. But you know what? Holding the Rainmaker and getting that wipeout is probably gonna be what's gonna secure the game for them at this moment. They just need to hold it for another 15 seconds. If they get any more points at this point, it's just going to be a bonus. But going up too far ahead, that was, I think, a pretty dangerous move for them. And in the last 5 seconds, the last 5 seconds, control goes over of the Rainmaker to the other side. Now that area, that little corner, has been a pretty dangerous place to keep the Rainmaker this entire game. I'm surprised they didn't hold on to it just for those few seconds and allowed the game to go into overtime. If they're able to get this checkpoint and push up ahead, we could see the game flip over. I wonder how this long-lived overtime is actually going to be going for. But a stray bomb gets the Rainmaker carrier at the very end, right when they saw an opportunity to push forward to that first checkpoint.
And just a very back and forth game. At least take neutral towards the latter half of that game. The Rams, they were struggling to even make it out of their spawn, out of their first platform area. As it Hazards, they just kept the pressure up. They kept the pressure going. And even though they won this game, this still doesn't change their standings for their semifinals match. They're just playing this out for the fun of it. And we're heading into game number 8, I believe, or quote unquote game number 8, I believe.
But yeah, quote-unquote game number 8, or the third game that they'll be playing for fun.
9.
Nine, actually, 9, yeah, that's right. Game number 9, hang on, how many games are there in this? Okay, there were 9 games this set. We'll be going into Clam Blitz on Eeltail Alley. A personal favorite of mine, actually. Even though Eeltail Alley can be a little bit of a controversial map because it is pretty much just a hallway and you can lock out the other team pretty well, getting control of that bridge and pushing ahead from there and getting like a lot of visibility from the high ground that you can get around mid is always like a really good way to push in. I like Clam Blitz. I think it's one of my favorite modes in Splatoon 3.
And With as we're starting to get ready for this next game, I will say if I was Rams, even though it didn't go that well that last game, I think Hydra's a very strong player here. If they want to at least try and win this game, even though it doesn't affect the scoring, at that Hydra, I'd say keep it out. It's proved to be apply so much pressure against against the Hazards, who don't really have the weapon pool to really counter it too much. I think I think they should keep it out.
I think so too, but we'll see if they do or not. It looks like as we go into this game, we'll be having a look at the weapon comps they have right now. Looks like we see a Naught on one side and double blob on the other. This is an undercover umbrella. This is not something I've seen before. This is going to be really interesting, seeing all this rain take up and hold back some space, getting the chip damage for both of these teams actually.
I don't mean to be rude or whatever, but if I'm correct in this assumption, I believe Hazard's decided to go for more a joke comp right now as they run some double blob and undercover umbrella, which are two weapons you don't really see at all in competitive Splatoon. And as right now, it's starting to begin to show. Well, not really. As one goes down for the Rams, and they're starting to hold this neutral right here, trying to hold the mid, but it seems to be going honestly kind of well in the favor, but as soon as I say that, two goes down for the Hazards.
Yeah, this undercover umbrella I think is surviving really well for her actually. That's a really impressive play. If they go down to the brush, it looks like that was inevitable at that point. Both the brush and the Stamper and the umbrella have gone down. But the brush goes down on the other side as well. This could be the chance for them to make that first push, get that power clam in, but if they're able to actually get in any more clams, that could be a dead push, but no, we see the score go down just a little bit more. We're gonna have to see some defensive plays from the Stamper and from the Blobs in order to stop that push going down any further.
And right now, two goes down for the Rams as they manage to secure a 34-point lead so far. And the Hazards, they're slowly inching forward. They have the range to go out. They have here comes another special from the undercover umbrella. And right now, it seems to be that they could potentially even start scoring a few times on their own. But the Rams, they just managed to hold this very well. They managed to hold it very well until the second. But no, one does manage to go in as they get at least a power clan in their name.
Yep, only one power clam. They really have to defend at this point in order to stop any more pushes coming in. It looks like as they tried to score that clam, actually running in there was running completely into danger. I saw so much happening from all sides. And what a play from the undercover reach side. It looks like they actually managed to take lead with the two picks they got there as well. Just collecting some more clams to hold this lead even further. Maybe this is going to be the new meta. What do you think? Double blob, Stamper, and undercover umbrella.
I honestly cannot say if this may or may not stick. It might stick, who knows it. But it most likely won't. But considering how well it's going so far for them, with taking it down all the way to 19 points in just one single push, it may be something for some people to consider.
Perhaps. I thought like the way they were able to actually change. Wow, okay. They only need one time left, and it looks like getting so many picks this undercover umbrella is getting and really holding that clam basket open. It looks like they do manage to get that one clam in that they need for the knockout win. I actually really enjoyed seeing at one point the double rain come out, because having a single rain, that's good for like pushing people out, getting a little bit of chip damage as well, but the double rain can be just that extra, that little bit more dangerous to come up against, I think.
And a very surprising turn of events. They did manage to end up taking that game, which is game number 9, which I believe that's gonna be it for the night right now. Even though they managed to take the one game over them, the score still stands 2 for Painting Hazard and 5 for Farmingdale Rams, making them the winners of the tonight's set, heading on to finals.
Yep, and it's been fantastic seeing all these games, but been fantastic seeing both of these teams play against each other. There were so many fantastic even games all through the set. Even if Farmingdale Rams managed to get the clear win in this set. It was fantastic seeing both of these teams play each other, and there were many games I had no idea which direction they were going to go. Honestly, I have been, by the way, I've been Lily Gravy Bread, and I'm here with Dark. Where can we find you, Dark?
You guys can find me at SPF_dark at both Twitter and Twitch. I may not be that active right now, but I'm kind of working fixing that here in the nearby future. Where can they find you, Lily?
You can find me at Lily Gravy Bread, that's Lili Gravy Bread, all one word, on twitter.com and also on Twitch. I stream there from time to time. It's been fantastic being here on the mic with you.
It has been a pleasure as well being here tonight, but don't go anywhere yet, just folks, because it's still going. We have another exciting set coming out for you in just a moment as we head into a quick break.